Hi, Luis. This is Michael from BetterTOEFLScores.com. I'm going to listen to a speaking practice test that you submitted, I think, yesterday. Let's take a look at the practice test that you're answering here. So it says some people think that children should be allowed to watch whatever television programs they choose. Others think that parents should exercise control over the television programs their children watch. So which do you agree? Explain why. All right. Okay, Luis, I have the actual rubrics here from ETS. So as I listen to your practice test, I'm going to see where you score and why. Then here's your practice test here. So I'm going to listen to the whole thing one time without making any comments. Then I'm going to listen to it again. I'll try to break my comments into three areas: delivery, language use, and topic development.
I think that parents should control what their children are watching in terms of TV programs, but also also letting their children to choose between which TV programs they like to. And this control can be done filtering out among the possibilities of TV programs, the ones that are adequate for their children's age, and after that, um, their children can select which one they prefers. Doing that, it's going to avoid children to see inadequate content such as violence, nudity, and other scenes that are not going to be beneficial for them.
Okay, so I kind of look at the three area. Do I want to go higher than three? Do I want to go lower than three? And I think I'm going to stay right in this area here. This is where I think you are right now. Delivery, minor difficulties with pronunciation, tone, or pacing. I think I did notice that. Overall intelligibility is not affected. So you have some problems with pronunciation, but it doesn't interfere in my understanding what you're saying. Language use, let's see. Response may exhibit some imprecise or inaccurate use of vocabulary or grammatical structures or be somewhat limited. So I think you had a few grammatical errors in there, at least one problem with parallelism. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then topic development. Overall development somewhat limited, usually lacks elaboration or specificity. Yeah, you weren't very specific with the concrete detail. You did say if you gave an example of maybe if you have children or when you were a child, try to give some examples, some type of harmful content you think children might come across if they're controlling their own TV without their parents' input. Okay, so I'm thinking right now, I'm going to put you right around, I'm going to say 20 to 22 points out of 30. That's the estimation of what your level is right now with the TOEFL. So I don't think you could get 26 here, not even 24. Okay, let's listen to it again one more time. So how about let's listen for delivery, see if I can give you some feedback on delivery first.
I think that parents should control what their children are watching in terms of TV programs, but also letting their children to choose between which TV programs they like to.
But they like to, or they want to watch, or they like to watch, or which ones they like, or which ones they want to watch. So that's actually a language use issue. So you're not quite sure. If you say like, you don't have to put a preposition after it. If you say want, you'll need to do that. So you're kind of mixing up a little bit there. There's also a parallel structure before that, the but also. Listen to the beginning one
Their
more time.
children are watching in terms of TV programs, but also letting their.
But usually if you say but also, you'll say not only plus but also, either plus or neither plus nor. I don't hear not only in there at all, right?
I think that parents should control what their children are
So parents should control what their children are watching.
watching in terms of TV programs, but also also letting their children to choose between which TV programs they like to.
I would say, but also they should allow their children to select which TV programs they like. I would say something like that. So you didn't quite pull off that. You said, but also allowing, but that wasn't really parallel with what you said before. I would use but there, but also as more of a coordinated conjunction to connect independent clauses together. I think that would probably be better language use there.
And this control can be done filtering out among the possible.
See that right there, this is where the delivery starts to create some what I call pacing issues. It says in the 3 here, minor difficulties with pacing. Listen to this one more time, how you said that idea.
Can be done filtering out among the possibilities of TV programs, the ones that are adequate for.
Yeah, it's very awkward how you said that, right? So you're having too many pauses after some of those grammatical words. You're not kind of blending and linking them together
their
there.
children's age. And
But you talk about TV programs, right? Well, let's take a look at topic development here. It says usually lacks elaboration or specificity. So you're not giving an example of a TV program that is or is not appropriate for children. Would you want your children to watch SpongeBob SquarePants? Would you allow them to choose that? Do you think that has educational value to young children? What about Sesame Street? Do you think that's a good program for children? So I don't really see you getting into any specific detail there.
after that, their children can select which one they prefers.
You said more they prefers. So you're having some problems with what we call the inflectional ending. So when we put S on a verb, it's to indicate the third person singular form of that verb. So it would say the child prefers to watch Sesame Street on Saturdays. Or you'll say children prefer to watch. You don't want to put the third person S when you're having a plural subject, right? Only when you have a third person singular subject.
Doing that, it's going to avoid children to see inadequate content such as violence, nudity.
Again, that was kind of awkward, I think, with your word choice. It says here with 3, it says imprecise, inaccurate, or imprecise use of vocabulary or grammar, and also problems with delivery. Right in here. Listen to this one more time.
Doing that, it's going to avoid children to see.
Doing that,
Doing that, it
doing that will. There's no need to say it because when you say doing that, you're using what's called a gerund phrase. Gerund phrases can be subject, so there's no need to put a pronoun directly after a gerund phrase. It's basically unnecessarily repeating that subject again. It's kind of redundant grammar.
going to avoid children to see inadequate content such as violence, nudity, and other scenes that are not going to be beneficial for them.
Yeah, I think the more I listen to it, the more I want to lower the score, unfortunately. So as I listen to it, I discover additional delivery language use problems. Uh, I'm going to put you maybe, I'm going to say maybe 19 to 21 points out of 30. I think that's probably more realistic goal there. That's what I'm going to do there. All right. So what do you have to do here? I think with delivery, you have to think of some things that you can do that can help you to improve your speaking proficiency. So with delivery, you have to improve what I call sentence rhythm. I think you can do better there. You can do better with what's called thought groups and blending, the linking of the words within the thought groups. And if you have access to my TOEFL lessons at stealth.michaelbuckoff.com, you can study sentence rhythm and thought groups and blending both in the pronunciation section of my course there. Language use, I think it would be a good idea for you to practice, if you have a grammar book, study what's called parallel structure. Parallelism, Maybe with paired conjunctions, that might be a good place to start. So you get more used to balancing the different parts of your sentence grammatically. Um, Topic development. The main thing is just be more concrete and more specific when you get to those examples. I think that would definitely help you with your speaking proficiency. All right, and thank you for completing this practice test.